ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another Camp Capstone Spotlight. Say that 3 times real fast. You'll have some fun. But we have the brand new Uwe Rosenberg New York Zoo. Clay, Uwe, how'd that happen? How'd that happen?
It's magical. It's just magical. Our buddies at Fairland have helped us out a lot, and we're really proud to not sponsor, but partner with them on this production. And yeah, this is awesome. So
I'm not opening this box like right away for a reason, because as soon as I do, I'm gonna lose everybody, because you're just gonna be zooming in, looking at the screen, and gushing over what you're about to see. Because I just saw it for the first time. It showed up at my doorstep an hour ago, and I'm blown away. Are you ready? Here we go. So,
buckle up.
I mean, it's a great rule book, but that's not why. All right. So we have some player boards, which is pretty standard fare. We have our zoo board, but look at these guys. Look at these. Oh my goodness. We have flamingos. The penguins are amazing. Meerkats. I just little
My
kangaroos.
favorite box. Yeah, I like the Arctic boxes. They're all good in there. There's a lot too. There's like 130 of them or something like that in there.
What? Oh, that's insane. So this one, we don't have like a huge board here. We just have this nice strip that kind of represents pens of animals that we're going to be taking from, correct?
Yeah, you got that. And those little indented locations on the action strip will be these enclosure tiles where the animals are at your zoo and whatnot. And it starts off with the lighter ones are at the very bottom.
Okay.
And then the bigger ones, those dark green ones, are at the top.
Okay.
When you set it up. So the beginning of the game, the bigger ones are available.
Right, and there's a little guide here that's telling me what to do, so it's pretty straightforward, right? But we have like a couple shades of green here. Shades of green, not gray, around Capstone today. It's awesome.
This is the family game, yes.
So I'm gathering that there's a Tetris element here.
Heck yeah. This is definitely a polyomino experience. But it's also Uwe Rosenberg, so he's going to combine that with his famous animal breeding skill set with his designs. And so there's a bunch of different animals, and you're going to be populating your zoo with them and breeding them to create more offspring. And man, the penguins are cool. They are really cool.
I love it. I like how you just had to do we have to put some print on one of them, and the penguin was the right choice. Absolutely.
I agree. Penguins for the win. Kangaroo is pretty cool too. I like that one. But what you're doing is there's also an elephant piece. It's a bigger piece. Don't worry about finding it. It's just
you're gonna make me do it now. There you go.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah. So pre-order customers, there's a special, really decked out version of that piece that you're going to get with the game. And we got pre-orders going through Monday, so that'll come free. But the elephant is going to travel around the board, and you're going to move him like up to 4 spaces on your turn. And depending on where the elephant lands, wherever you choose, you're going to do one of 2 things. If he lands on enclosure space like that, you would take that piece and place it in your zoo. But the catch is you have to have animals in your little reserve area, that little purple area on your player board on the left.
Yep. Okay.
You have 3 little houses there. So if you have an animal in there, then you would immediately take one of those animals and place it in that newly placed enclosure. So they would populate that area. So, yeah. So now that's a flamingo beach area or something like that.
I like it.
But that's one of the areas. And then the other one is those blue oval spaces along that action strip. You would take 2 of those animals that are printed on there, and they could either go into your enclosures on your zoo, or they can go in that little holding area, the barn. That's what I think the rule book calls it, the barn, for future turns. And then the third thing that can happen is if the elephant passes any of those orange locations on the action strip, um, it's about 2 spaces. Yeah, those whatever
Nice.
animals depicted there, yeah, will breed, and
Okay.
that's that's when, and you'll do that after you've taken the enclosure or get more animals action. So if, in this case, you would get an extra flamingo in that area.
Right. If I happen to
Um,
cross this one here, right?
exactly, yeah,
Cool.
and there's some rules on how they breed and the number of times you can do it, but each little square can hold one animal. Once an entire enclosure is completely full and occupied with the same animal, you get a free attraction tile,
Yeah.
and those are used. Yeah, and it's whatever one you want to choose. Obviously, you're going to choose a big one first, and place that anywhere on your player board to take up more space. And the reason why you're doing this is because you're literally building your zoo, and you want to be the first player to complete the zoo. Yeah, so as soon as you cover up all those squares in that construction zone, you will win the game. And yeah, so it's a race game to see who can finish doing it first while you're managing these animals and trying to get as much breeding and animals in your zoo as possible. So yeah, it's a great family game because you have those two. Your options are two things: do I get another enclosure or do I get more animals?
Right. And do
So
you go
it's
far enough to make them breed in the process? That's it.
exactly. That's yeah. It's a tightrope. A lot of pressure builds up as you're playing the game because also with those enclosure tiles around the strip, when you're setting it up, all of the smaller pieces go on the bottom, and then as you're when you're done setting up, you have the bigger enclosure tiles on the top. Those are nice because they take up a lot of room, but at the same time, you need a lot more animals to fill that enclosure up to get that bonus attraction tile. So
Gotta you gotta weigh
it's
the
Uwe,
balance,
man.
right?
Yeah, he's so good at doing these small things, and it just makes it a really fun experience. And you can play this with, casual gamers, first time gamers. My son really likes this game. He's 6. And then you can probably play pretty cutthroat with some experienced gamers too. So it's really nice.
I would imagine. The thing is, it's just gorgeous. Are the boards different? It doesn't.
Depending on the number of players, yeah, you'll
Okay,
see on the
because
bottom left. Yeah,
right. Okay, so it's how many
yeah,
you can kind of hold and how big the pens are changes a little bit.
exactly. And then there's a
Okay.
solo mode that's built into it, and you're racing against the clock essentially on the solo mode. You need to fill your enclosure up before the game ends, and that is triggered when the elephant travels twice around the action strip.
Okay.
Um, yeah, you've got it's he embeds some pressure and tension in this game, and it's not really apparent on the surface. And when you get started playing, you start ramping up on that tension and pressure.
Awesome.
Oh,
It looks like a lot of fun. Like I said, it just showed up an hour ago, so I haven't had a chance to actually play it. But I guarantee you, the wife and I are going to break it out tonight because I
yeah.
need to play with the penguins. They're amazing.
I'm the penguin zoo guy. Yeah, I
And
like the penguins, man. They do look good.
and he just looks so chill. I mean, you could put like little sunglasses on him and he'd be completely fine. I imagine somebody will go insane with googly eyes at some point. And if they do, I totally want pictures because that will be amazing. So, Clay, when is this coming out? Like, when can, how can people pick it up?
Yeah, so I mentioned pre-orders are going to be going on through Monday, just 2 more days, and then um, it's actually getting on a boat next week,
Ooh,
and we should have it. I'm thinking mid-September at this point, mid to end of September, just depending on the shipping lines and all that.
awesome.
So yeah, pre-orders are going to get it real right away, but the retail release is the end of October during Spiel. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
So definitely something. If you're not familiar with how Capstone does it, Clay doesn't kickstart, but he does pre-orders on his own site, and you know what? Let's be honest, he probably prices them a little too aggressively. So it's your chance to pick them up at a very good price. So this
yeah,
is definitely one that's going on my pre-order list. So be sure to check that out.
yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. So we'll see you. We're going to do another spotlight. We'll be back. in a bit.
Thank you.